August 22nd, 2018. Few days off after Lake Scugog and FLW Canada disasters, but the show must go on. Today we are headed to the Tri-Lakes this weekend. Sean and I have 2 days of CSFL Tri-Lakes. In the past, I've had some really good tournaments there, and I've had some real floppers. I got every rod that I own in there. We're gonna try to break it down into a few. Hopefully I don't have to drive back and forth and do a ton of pre-fishing. We can just find some fish and get some comfort, but if it's tough, we'll be at this more and more. Other news, the Ganaraska is starting to see some salmon. I really wanna get my boat out to do some casting for them, and while they're staged up at the mouth before they head into the river. It's gonna be a busy week. Saturday and Sunday tournaments, 3 days to figure this out. We have made it. It is ultra windy. As you can see, Tri-Lakes is basically Shamong, Pigeon, and Buckhorn, North Buckhorn. They all fish differently. They're all terribly different than each other. Some of them are swamps, some of them are deep rock, but a ton of noise going on here in the background. Let's get this boat in the water. Hopefully we find some fish. It is windy, overcast, miserable out. But we might have these conditions on the weekend, so we gotta try to make something happen today. Try to stay out of this wind the best we can, and hopefully catch some fish. You hear how loud that thing is? Holy jumping. Listen to that thing go.
Trusted friend or your sworn ally. No, it's the harshest mistress of all.
One largemouth coming up.
And life is just a chain of moments spent, 1,000 hellos and goodbyes. Maybe a love like ours can leave out its call. I will keep you near, and you are safe with me, and I will stay with you until the
baby. But we caught a fish a little ago. Hit mark and get out of here.
feel the
Off the water, ton of small fish kicking around. I caught quite a few smaller fish. It's really nasty weather today. You can hardly see any of the weed that I was trying to look for and on spots that I knew of. Just because the wind's so bad, it's hard to stay on top of anything. Did catch some fish. I think that Shawnee and I can probably grind out a limit, get lucky, catch some big ones. I'm kind of surprised that all the docks I casted to, and all I was really doing was swimming my jig by the docks, hoping I would see a giant come out and have a look at it, and then I would know that there's big ones on the docks. Unfortunately, I didn't see any good fish today, but it's been kind of scummy weather the last 2 days. It's actually really cold out there on the lake. I'm freezing. I should have brought more clothes. So you never know. There's a lot can change. Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weather can change, and Saturday and Sunday can fish totally different. I'm sure somebody's going to get 20 pounds plus. There may even be 2 20-pound bags a day. This lake really produces some great big fish, but we'll have to see what happens. I'm just glad I caught some. Feel good about it. It is what it is. Tri-Lakes is either fish is really good, or Tri-Lakes can be just one of the toughest, most frustrating fisheries out there. So never know. We are now headed back to Port Hope. We're going to check Lake Ontario. We got a bit of a north wind here, so maybe Lake Ontario is nice and smooth and we can get out casting for some Chinooks this evening. That's what I really want to do. I really want to crankbait up a great big dirty old Chinook salmon. Made it back to town, swung by the river on the way home. The river's dirty, but luckily we got a north wind going. I think we're gonna go out casting for salmon for a couple hours. Seems to be a pretty good mud line out there. The Chinooks like to hang out on that. We gotta do a quick switch over, get all these bass rods and reels put away, and then I got a feeling we're gonna need a bigger net. So I gotta dig the net out, and I have something ultra cool to use. I have a brand new Daiwa rod to use for these salmon. So let me get this all switched up and I'll show you what we're gonna use, and we'll head out. Switched up through another layer of clothes on, some pants. Here it is, brand new for 2019, Daiwa. Can you see that there? We'll zoom in on that. Kage. This is a 7.9 medium heavy Alabama rig rod. I'm so pumped to use this for Chinook salmon. 7'9". It is absolutely perfect for chucking these big baits for Chinook salmon. Cannot wait to get it on the water. I got Tatua SV 30-pound braid on there, 6:3 gear ratio, so that I don't over crank. But that's the setup. I'm ultra pumped to use it. I'll let you know how it is. But if we get any, it might be a little too early still for big groups of them to be up front. We got a bigger net. If there is Chinooks out there, we should be able to see the schools of them amazingly on the Panoptic. So let's go, let's get the boat in the water, let's see what happens. It's either gonna be really good, or we may get out there and it's too rough past the pier to even fish. So I don't know. I am excited to go.
I hear you breathe, but I can't see if you're right here next to me. Something's wrong, wasn't it fun? Is it now we're done? You get dressed, I'm like a mess, and you tell me to confess, and you tell me to confess. Oh, I don't know what to say, what to do, how to make you see. This is nothing in real life, it might just have been a bad dream. You can run, you can hide, but you can't put the blame on me. Because you're acting like a volcano, tending to be my savior. Nothing you do can save us.
another adventure. Not a bad day at all. Caught some small bass, but on the tri lakes, you really don't want to hook a good one before the tournament. I was testing fate there a bit, fishing docks. I seen some little ones come flying out, but man, she's touch and go. Really hard to find some good deep weed, especially in that wind today. But I think we have I have a good idea what's going on. Probably just gonna wing this event. Fishing docks and deep weed will get you some good fish on the tri lakes. So there's a ton of it out there. Salmon fishing didn't go so hot. I did learn a lot about my Garmin Panoptics unit. You could really see the fish out there. In my guesstimation, there's 200 or 300 fish sitting in the mouth of that river. The water's about 72 degrees. It's not cool enough for them to really put the herd on. But something interesting, when I was out there, I could see on east of the Ganaraska River, I saw a big pot of fish in there, and really shallow too. And the young lads on the east pier whaled the snot out of them for about a half an hour. I couldn't get in there. I would have had to cut in between them and shore, and that's not cool at all. But it was kind of cool that I saw those fish on the Panoptics searching way out, and then those young lads put an absolute hurting on them. So that was really cool. I learned a lot about that. I'm gonna edit this in the morning. It was a good day. I feel good about Tri Lake. I think Shawnee and I are just gonna have to grind this event out. Fish a lot of docks, fish some deep weed, and fish in the moment. Stuff as we find, keep going to that. And I think we're gonna do all right. If I could get 5 fish in that wind today, then I'm sure we're gonna do okay. Guys, girls, make sure you follow on Instagram, fear_fishing. Follow on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Pretty pumped to fish 2 tournaments this weekend. Always excited. And when that water hits below 65 degrees, it is going to be a salmon smash fest. We'll see you soon.